What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul,
Chris,
and Dave.
bringing you the latest on Survivor 35, Episode 5. Okay, so we just came off of a very, very exciting tribal council where we had an advantage played from someone in another tribe, and then we also had an idol played by Joe, and played successfully, mind you, but of course Dave and I talked about how that idol being played didn't really matter in the first place because
Correct.
of the right. It didn't matter if it was used correctly or not because the results would have been the same. One of the other three going home, the non-healers. But anyway, it was a very, very exciting episode. Just coming off of this episode, what are you guys thinking right now?
Oh, first off, I want to know what Chris is thinking because he looks very excited just rocking back and forth after talking about this episode. Chris, what the hell's up with you?
so I know I wasn't here last episode, but this episode, I really do like the structure of the three teams, and I just want to say, I told you so that they were going to do three teams. I knew it. I fucking
Shut
knew
up.
it. You said that we're going to do it.
Shut up.
No, but I really like coming out from like last episode where what team is it? The blue team, the new blue team or whatever, right? It was the blue team? Or
It's
red team?
Levu. It's Levu.
Levu, yeah.
Levu.
I like the fact that it's three teams of five, just because there's always because there's less people, it makes the tribal councils a little bit more dramatic, and it makes the teamwork a lot more better too. Rather than it being two groups, I feel like they did a fantastic job making it three. And this episode, I kind of really liked a lot because even with the food challenge, I was like rooting for like one team, like, oh, please win, blue team. And they did it, and I'm just happy overall with the process of what's happening from last episode to episodes coming.
Fair enough. Dave, thoughts?
Yeah, just pretty much all the same with that. Just ready. I was just ready to go and just see what the hell is going to happen next.
We just had Patty in the chat say.
I mean,
We just had Patty in the chat say Ryan is using that fake idol for further gameplay down the road. Yeah, I guess the one that Kristen has. Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen it come into play the fake one yet, but we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, no, like the whole thing with coming into this with Levu, it was interesting to see how they seem to kind of reunite a little bit. But if they ever go back on tribal, we already know where the lines are drawn.
There was respect after the tribal. They got back. They talked, and Ashley immediately and Devin were both like, that was a very impressive play. They were both very impressed. But then Ashley has like a little talk when she's like, I understand Joe is a very dangerous player. He's not just, he's smart and strategic at the same time. I don't think those two are necessarily mutually exclusive, but smart and strategic. So he's basically going to be her next target. Thoughts? Good move on her part?
It's just sensible. That's exactly what I expect to see happen.
Yeah, I honestly think that he shouldn't have played I know you probably talked about this last episode, but I do believe that he shouldn't have played the idol because he would have had the idol, and then he would have had better odds moving forward. I kind of feel like having an idol is probably really important, but I just think that he kind of wasted it. I know a lot of people believe that he used the idol like well, but he was going to be safe regardless, so I don't know why he used it. And I think I can't necessarily say it's going to bite him in the ass later, but it would have been great to have it in his back pocket.
Right, Chris is exactly right. I mean, if he used it on himself, that's basically acknowledging that the two votes were on him, which means that there was a tie, that those two votes would have during rocks, he wouldn't have been a target. Basically, he wouldn't have had to pick a rock because he would have been one of the votes. So he didn't really have to use it. But I guess it's good for him to use it to build trust with Desi.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the idol, it was just good for the moment. But long-term game is where I feel like it just sucks because now he lost that protection for long-term.
Very true, very true. All right, so we jump into the Yawa Tribe, and we kind of – and I don't know what you guys think about this, but we had like this – we had the bamboo exploding, and Ben kind of has his moment. What do you guys think about it? I want to say something why I think they're showing this, but I want you guys to tell me what you think about that first.
It makes Ben more relatable. I mean, he's really been on the fringes of the show and the fringes of everything, to be honest. So I feel like looking at it from like a production to audience standpoint, it's just like one of those like good motivational things that him saying, hey, I'm a vet. vets can do anything. You know, we need to move on. We need to get on with our lives. We could have our damage, but we keep moving forward. It was, you know, the nice, heartwarming thing. Like, you know, you get behind that. You respect the guy. Like, we all respect the people who, like, fought for us. But at the same time, it's like, production-wise, it's like, hey, here's some personality for the guy. Here's something to make him relatable. Here's that thing that everyone wants to see.
Chris?
Adding to what Dave's saying, I definitely think this part in the episode with him, you kind of realize that he's not just like here just to play the game. Like he's here to like change his life too. Like these are real people we're talking about, and this is kind of like showing the audience like, yes, like this is like a serious moment right now, and they're not, you know what I mean?
He's
They're
no
not
longer
like
two-dimensional.
Yeah, he's not two-dimensional. We're seeing his character develop a little bit more. I also think that because we're seeing his character develop it more, that he's going to make it really far in the game. Because I know Survivor, that's exactly what they do.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Chris just jumped on that point, and that's exactly what I was about to suggest here. Basically, Ben is developing his story right now, and as we know in Survivor, the people who have stories tend to make it pretty far out into the game. So we can almost expect Ben to do pretty well. Either that or he's going to have like immediate end very, very soon. But more than likely, it's going to be just him developing his story. He'll probably make merge and make it decently far, and we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, definitely respect Ben fighting for our country, and if that the bamboo, the loud noises got to him, I mean, PTSD.
It's understandable.
It's a tough thing. All right, so let's go into the reward challenge, where I will read the reward, what the challenge was verbatim. So your feet will be tied together, your arms will be bound to your side. On Jeff's go, you will slither through the sand while pushing a ball relay style through the course until you reach the finish. The remaining tribe mates will shoot 5 balls into a very tall basket. Winner gets iced coffee and like some pastries. Second place gets also iced coffee. Relatively,
this was not Ryan's greatest moment. We'll just put it like that. This was not Ryan's shining moment.
This was not Ryan's best moment. The challenge though, it really showed Levu worked really, really well on this challenge. Like they really rebounded extremely well. I was very impressed with Desi at the beginning of this challenge, sliding through that sand. Very, very good. But true that the only thing really worth noting here is that Ryan messed up the challenge and it made him look in front of his tribe.
That, and like you said, like Levu was like, oh wow, like they are a team when they need to be, because like, and they're all strong players, and none of them want to go home, so that's a good enough motivation. One little like thing that I feel like is kind of like worth noting is that like Devin, like maybe you could say struggled a little bit, but again, like it didn't look so easy to get those balls into where it had to be. But what I found kind of funny is like after Levu won the challenge, after they dominated everybody else, is you see Devin like purposely trying to reach to grab Joe in for the group hug. Like it's just like one of those things. It's like, hey, like you're my bitter enemy, but let's celebrate the fact that we won pastries, which I think is totally cool. But it was just funny to me because like when I saw that, I was like, these guys can be a team.
Yeah, the unity of a tribe is a very special thing. Chris?
I do like the fact that they went from tribal council to working together and getting first place. It shows that they aren't holding any grudges. It shows that they can, like adding to what you guys were saying, they can come up as a team and just work together and just forget about all the negative stuff that's been happening throughout their tribe. I also do think we're seeing Devin like really like competitive wise, like we're seeing how he's a really strong competitor. We also know that he's good socially, he's good strategically. And I kind of feel like he has really good odds making it further just based on this competition. I also think, going back to what Ryan, I think Ryan, we've seen in the past episodes that he's really good socially and strategically, but we do know that he's really weak when it comes to competitions, and that kind of gives the audience a little bit of, okay, like maybe like he might be good strategically, but if he fucks up a competition here or two, it might backfire him later on.
I think the most important aspect that we should consider here is that even after him messing up the challenge, they show Allie, and she's basically like, yeah, I don't really care that Ryan messed up the challenge. He's still my boy, basically, and he's still like closest ally in this game. And I think that was very telling for them to show her say that about him this episode. especially considering what
Yeah.
happens.
Yes, very important.
So let's jump into
And-
Levu Tribe after they won the reward. And like you guys said, it was a unifying effect. Everyone's happy. Morale grew. I mean, honestly, that's what happens when you win a reward challenge. Your morale grows, and you hope to keep the ball rolling, basically. But what they also showed is Devin and Ashley basically making, working together, even if that means going to Rocks at next tribal council against Joe and Desi.
Yeah, although they did question whether or not they could bring Desi to their goal to get Joe out.
I think
I
they
mean,
could.
it doesn't look like it's maybe. I mean, I would say like right at the moment, I don't think it's likely, but it's definitely not impossible. And the reasoning behind it was the fact that like they're afraid that they think that if Desi thinks that it'll be a tie, the fact that she'll lose control, and that she can go home. So I think
Yeah.
it's feasible. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they, how they would do in tribal. But I'd like to see Level go a little bit further because I like this new morale thing. It's actually pretty cool.
Same.
Yeah, morale thing's pretty cool. All right, so let's jump into Soco. All right, so in regards to Soco, like I said, Ali doesn't care that Ryan lost the challenge. Ryan's upset with himself. He takes ownership of losing the challenge. Now, typically in Survivor, when you lose a challenge that badly for your team, it's usually much more devastating for yourself. Like almost every single season I've watched, there's always one instance, at least one instance in a game where someone completely messes up a challenge and then that person becomes a target. And that person becomes a target, and their goal basically to get the target off of them. That didn't happen for Ryan at all. No one saw Ryan as a target, except maybe JP, but he never said it this episode. But
JP really didn't say much this episode. I mean, he was more the actions speak louder than words type of thing. Like, I just want to point out, like, JP carried like his team through both challenges this episode. And then towards the end, what me and Chris were laughing about was the fact that JP literally carried Ryan through. He didn't even unlock Ryan's shackles. He just like, you're on the mat now. Like, and then just kept on like trying to go to the next thing, which I thought was hysterical. But JP looked the most pissed off out of everybody because, I mean, even before he was there, he's been carrying the team. I mean, he's a really strong competitor. But he seemed kind of like dull.
Saying. Yeah, the thing about JP that I really like and that we're actually seeing is the fact that he's very competitive, but he also knows when to shut up, which is very, very, very good. And
but he also doesn't really speak in general.
I know, but he's also like you just said that he was upset about what happened at the challenge and stuff like that.
That's true.
But he's not vocalizing it, which is very good. Like I think for someone as competitive as himself, people find that very threatening really quick early on. So the fact that he's able to like relax, calm down, and just not really express his feelings about it, I think it shows how. I know he doesn't get a lot of screen time, which is kind of the opposite of what I said before about.
Going further.
Ben, what Ben, like we saw that Ben that was getting a lot of screen time. It's kind of just the opposite way with JP, where it's the fact that he's not really getting screen time, but he has a potential of making it really far because he's really smart.
Yeah, I mean, I think JP learned his lesson from the Hero Tribe. Basically, saw that people were out to get him, so he just gonna put up and shut up. Basically, he's just gonna work hard, do his thing, and not talk too much, not make a stir around camp. And I think he's being relatively successful about it. So, in regards to the Soco Tribe, basically, Ali and Roark basically have a conversation, and they kind of want to get on the same page. Ali wants to work with Roark. Roark makes like an offer to Ali that basically says, "Hey, when we get to a merge situation, you basically come with the healers, and we'll all work together further down the road. 7 or 8 people, Ryan too, yada yada yada, and everyone's happy." And Allie's like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great idea." And so Allie goes to talk to Ryan, and Ryan's like, "Oh yeah, of course, that sounds perfect." Ryan's a really good liar, by the way, because he doesn't know what he's going to do at the time. And Roark wants to get, I think even at this point, Roark wanted to get Chrissy out. but Ryan's close with Chrissy, and Ryan's close with Ale, and he's basically in the middle right now. So as we all know in Survivor, when there's 5 people in a tribe, there's typically one person in the middle, and that person has all the power, at least for that tribal council. So Ryan seems to be in that position right now. How? Well, just luck from getting the advantage on the first day and giving it to Chrissy and having that build a relationship. But he's in this spot right now. So what do you guys think about his position?
I think. All right. So you have Ryan again as a swing vote, just as Devin was, which would again like after if the two of them are able to reunite, I think it'll be really interesting. Like that's something I'm waiting to see happen because they both have been in that position. But another thing that I find pretty interesting though is Allie, because if you look at everything with Allie's just been trying to find a home. She was with Simone got voted out. She was with Patrick got voted out. Now she's trying to team up with Rorik to get further with the healers, and then that would be her path to finding that little bit of a home, like that protection that's going to like keep her safe and carry her further through the game. It's just like I feel like she's in a worse position because all her allies have more or less left, and it's like all you have left is like Ryan, but Ryan's the one who's caught in the middle who can't even totally be trusted, at least in her scenario.
Chris?
We're talking about Ryan.
Talking about Allie, Ryan.
Allie and Ryan.
So
I don't know why Allie all of a sudden wants to work with her. I mean, it's no secret that there's 6 healers left, and she knew this when going into everything. So the fact that she's like so down to work with her, I'm like, how does she not understand that if merge happens, like she would be out of the numbers?
Yeah, I agree with you completely, Chris. I think she was. I don't think that if she went with Roark, I don't think that would have been good for her long term. Because we've seen seasons before where one tribe dominates, and when people just turn on the other tribes to work with that one big tribe, and once that happens, they just knock out everyone else from the other tribe too, until it's just that one singular, I guess in this case, healer tribe. And that's what I would expect to see in this season if that was to happen. Luckily, that's not what we were forced to see, because of the result of the vote tonight. We're not going to get a completely dominant tribe at the merge. But I don't understand what Allie was thinking here. But I guess Dave made a good point. She's looking for a home. But why can't that home be with Ryan?
The strongest alliance.
Yeah.
And it's not like she has a bad social relationship with JP too. Like JP doesn't hate her. Like she doesn't have a bad relationship with JP. Or
it's pretty hard to hate Allie. I mean, she's a strong player. I mean, she's a decent social. Like she doesn't really have any enemies. Like
yeah,
at least not now. I mean, it's questionable, but it doesn't seem like she ever did.
Yeah, I like Allie a lot. She's but she's just been very unlucky, I'd say.
Yeah,
very, very unlucky.
But some of those things were her decision, like voting Patrick out. She voted Simone out. It
made sense though. I mean, no one really seemed to keep an eye on the fact that she had. It made sense, and no one really seemed to keep an eye on the fact that she had like these relationships with these people anyway.
True. All right, let's jump into the Yawa Tribe. Actually, first, do you guys want to say what do you think of Roark in this case? I think she was actually playing fairly well for what she had to work with at this moment, getting Allie to work with her.
Well, I think she should have worked a little bit harder to get the other girl too before. Like, I don't want to skip ahead, but
Chrissy?
I don't want to skip ahead.
What other girl?
But I think
Chrissy.
No, I'm saying work with Chrissy. I think she should have established like a better social connection with her a little bit more
absolutely.
Play strategically. You can't. It doesn't go strategic, social in competitions. It goes social, strategic in competitions. You have to know the person before you actually start talking game with them. Otherwise, they're just going to think that you're using them for numbers and stuff like that. And I feel like that was her downfall, or it is going to be her downfall. And I think that she she messed her. She dug her own grave.
I think. Are we cool to like skip ahead? I mean, to like what happened. I mean, I want to see.
Well, everyone knows what happened. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna jump to Yawa at some point, but you can jump. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, it screwed Rourke over. She went home. You know.
Yeah.
But we'll go more in depth later.
But the only reason we have to realize the only reason why this happened was because Ryan found the advantage. That is the only reason why Rourke went home today. If not, it would have been split down the middle between Hustler and Hero, and Rourke was working with Allie, and Chrissy would have went home. So the only reason why, and the only reason why Rourke went home is because Ryan built that relationship with Chrissy early on. Which you have to give it to the producers, or whoever comes up with all this stuff, basically, because they haven't done this this use your advantage on another tribe thing. It's not something we often see.
Yeah, well, I have to disagree with that. I'm gonna have to disagree with that because I do believe that Ryan is a very smart player, and I do think that he thinks about numbers. And I'm still going to say at this point that he wanted to get one of the healers out, and I think he thought more strategically because even if he did give what's her name? I'm sorry, Chrissy. Even if he gave Chrissy the advantage, that's kind of really not the whole point of voting her out anyways. Like, yes, that did establish a good connection with them, but I don't necessarily think that was like a reason to keep her around.
Oh no, it absolutely was, because if they didn't have that relationship, then Ryan would have fell back on his relationship with Allie.
Right. I think Ryan still has a good relationship with Allie. I don't think voting Rourke out was
at this point.
Well, I think he really had a good relationship with Chrissy, but I also think that numbers wise, he wanted to get one of the healers out. That was it. Period.
I mean, I don't disagree that that's a good move to get a healer out, but I'm not sure that result would have been possible if he didn't have that relationship with Chrissy.
Here's the other thing. We don't know what's going on with Ryan and JP. I feel like they had a conversation that we didn't see, and I think that played a big factor into it. The other thing is that Chrissy has allies, JP has allies, again, that are both in different tribes, and then you have Rourke and Allie. Rourke, it already seemed like she had a target on her back because of the things that Chrissy was saying, and whether or not Ryan believed the whole thing. Did Ryan believe Chrissy about the whole Old Girls Alliance? I mean, we know JP bought it immediately.
Did Ryan believe it? No. Chrissy, the way Chrissy said it, she told Ryan in a way that made it seem like, yeah, I lied to JP about it in order to get us, in order to get him on the right page to vote Rourke out. So she told Ryan that she lied to JP.
Right. So then I would say, I mean, now with Rourke gone, the whole thing is that the Hustlers don't really have anybody. It's like you have like 4 Hustlers left. I mean, you have Lauren.
So there's 5 healers, 4 Hustlers, and 4 healers. Yeah, 4 healers. No, I'm sorry, 5 healers, 4 Hustlers, and 4 heroes.
Yeah. So the way I'm seeing it is like this: is for Ryan's next move. I feel like it's kind of crazy in a way, but getting Allie out wouldn't leave any collateral.
I don't know.
If he gets rid of Rourke,
we have to see what happens. I mean,
now I'm jumping really far ahead, but
all right, let's jump
into Yawa. All right, so Yawa, this episode, it was basically. They show this whole thing of Cole eating food, which is kind of disgusting. But, I mean, they're on an island, so I guess I shouldn't judge.
Yeah, I mean, they are trying to survive.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so, yeah, Jessica's paranoid about Mike because she thinks because Cole spilled the beans about her advantage that Mike isn't as trusting with Cole anymore. So she wants to solidify her relation with Mike in the game. And she does that basically by saying, "Oh, hey, the idol was here last time. Let's look for it now." And so they're just by the well drinking some water, and they start digging, and lo and
Oh
behold,
my god.
Mike
So
finds
not.
Mike finds the immunity idol. So don't underestimate Dr. Mike. He went from the bottom of the healer
I've been
tribe.
telling you guys that this whole season. I think
He's
Mike's gonna go
fucking win
far,
it.
and he's good.
He's gonna fucking win it.
They're not showing, yeah, but they really show him though. So it's still like they have to start showing him soon if he's going to be a big impact on the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're slowly starting
I've
to
been
show
saying
his
it since like, yeah.
I
But
mean,
I've been saying it since like before. Mike is something of a force to be reckoned with. I mean, he's not the strongest player, but he's really smart.
he comes off like shy, but he's really good strategically. Like he really knows how to play the game, and he's not overt about it. He knows how to, kind of like JP, kind of knows when to shut up when he needs to. And I think
Yeah.
it's so weird because JP's competitive and he's really strategic.
there's one
Yes, Paul?
there's one question though that I want to know as a result of finding this idol. Do they tell Cole? Because if they tell Cole, they run the risk of Cole blabbing it to everybody. So
Fuck no, they're
They
not
don't
going to
tell
tell
Cole.
Cole. No, of course not. She's not telling Cole shit. Are you kidding me?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
They would have
find
shown
out
that. They would
next-
have showed that in the episode.
I don't think she's gonna tell
Well,
Cole. We all know Mike is obviously not gonna tell Cole because he didn't even like the fact that Jessica knew that he had an idol.
But
He can't
but
risk it though. He can't risk it. He's not going to risk telling anyone.
No, I think
I'm saying
they
Mike's-
both know
I'm saying
better than
Mike's
to
gonna
tell
tell
Cole
Cole.
anything.
He's not going to do it either.
All right, I'm just saying that down the road, once this idol's revealed, they might break that trust between them when they find out. Yeah, I was lying to you. I knew about this idol the whole time. All right. Anyway, now let's jump into the immunity challenge. Immunity is back up for grabs. Okay, so they're gonna swim out. This challenge has them swimming out to a boat and retrieving 3 bags of rice. They must then push the rice through a hole, get it across the balance beam to shore, where you will tear open the 3 bags, searching for 3 balls. Finally, you'll maneuver those balls through a maze of holes to the top. It's a long challenge, actually. Fairly long challenge.
Really well thought out.
it was
Really
fun to
well
watch.
thought out.
I
got to give them props.
Yeah, I like
And
these
once
challenges.
again, JP carried his whole team.
He did. I like these challenges. It's basically just combinations of other previous Survivor challenges in the past, basically. But still fun nonetheless. I love it when they do these puzzles at the end with the ball. I love those challenges in the game. I always feel like they're the most interesting. So it seemed like Leroux started this challenge off slow, and then they picked it up. Soco, once they got to the balance beam, no one could do the balance beam other than JP. Right. So, and they got their balls last, and then Chrissy was trying to maneuver this maze, and she couldn't do it at all. Like, she tried twice to do it. Tried once, couldn't do it. Then Allie took over, got one in. Then she picked it up again. Didn't look like anyone else was having too much trouble with this maze on any of the other tribes. So it seemed like only Chrissy had trouble.
It kind of shows how similar she is to Ryan, where it comes to the competitions. Like, they both are not the greatest at the competitions, but they are really good strategists. And I think I'm going to say it, they're good casting choice on their part, because it shows that they're weak against one thing and they're strong against another attribute. And I think that's actually pretty interesting for what's coming up.
I think personally, if Ryan set out the first challenge and Chrissy set out the second, I think they would probably be in a lot better shape right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with that too.
Yeah, it's. I think it's just that specific. I think it's just the specific challenge they both had trouble with. So they lose. basically.
Yeah.
So
They
so
lost.
Soco loses. Yawa and Levu win immunity. And good for them. I mean,
I'm so glad Level didn't get last. I would have been so pissed
No,
off.
I
if
forgot. Did Level
last,
get
just to say.
first or second?
Yeah,
Second, right?
Second.
Okay.
I want Yawa to just lose already because having 3 people that have not been to tribal council yet on this game at episode 5 is infuriating.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
it'll happen. Give it time. Hopefully not. Hopefully by next episode.
I mean, we've
Next
seen.
episode could be very interesting.
Yeah, it could be. I'm sure we're gonna have another tribe swap in a few episodes, so that's gonna make things even more difficult.
I feel like the episode after next.
Maybe it's possible. All right, and maybe then they'll do 2 tribes. Who knows? All right, so
No,
let's
they'll break them down to 4 somehow.
They haven't done that in a long time.
No, they're not gonna do that.
All right, so let's.
I'm BSing.
I know. All right, so let's break it down to the Soco tribe after losing immunity. So Chrissy goes to talk to Roark, and this is actually a really cool conversation because they're both like, "Yeah, I know you're bullshitting me," and the other one's like, "Yeah, and I know you're bullshitting me," and like their private confessionals. The Chrissy's like, "Yeah, let's work together, do an all girls thing." Right? It's like, "Oh yeah, for sure, I'm totally into that." Roark on the side, "I'm not into this at all." Chrissy, you just talked to me today. Go fuck yourself. Chrissy on the side, "I know Roark's lying to me. I can't trust this girl at all. Go fuck yourself."
It's great.
I'm gonna outsmart this girl. Thoughts on this conversation? Do you think Chrissy had any hope when she was coming to this conversation, talking to Roark, or do you think she was completely basing it off?
I think she was kind of like trying to test and see how stupid Roark could be. I mean, neither one was stupid at all. But Chrissy holds her wits on such a high pedestal that she just hoped, well, maybe I could just act this way and I could try to be smart against Roark, and I'll just she took a shot at it. It failed, and then it turned to this like conversation of mutual BS and the acceptance of this mutual BS.
I fucking loved Chrissy like at this segment. I really did. I think we saw how so sneaky she was that she went and said, "Let's do an all-girl thing," and then blamed it on Roark for doing the all-girl thing. Like it just shows how much of a villain she is, but we love it so much.
But all it would have took for her to get called out on it was JP saying anything. But like we just talked about 10 minutes ago, JP doesn't say anything ever to anyone.
All he said was Chrissy go. All Chrissy did was like, "Hey, they're like JP straight up said, Chrissy, you didn't do good on the challenge." Like, that's it. And then Chrissy's response, "Roark wants to make an all-girls alliance. That's not a good thing." JP's like, "Well, it looks like we have to get her out." That's literally it. That's like the 2 sentences he said like the whole damn show.
My theory is that JP was originally thinking Ryan. And my thoughts, and I think this because he didn't want to go after Roark, and he probably wouldn't have wanted to go after Chrissy either. So he's probably like, "Oh, well, let's go after the other weakest player I'm not working with."
And he threw Ryan at the end of the challenge.
He threw Ryan at the end of the challenge. But again, we'll never know what JP was thinking at that moment. So anyway, he agrees to go after Roark to end this godforsaken all-girls alliance. And then Chrissy goes to talk to Ryan.
This fictional all-girls alliance.
This good old all-girls alliance. I mean, this is season 16 all over again, guys. Woo. Okay, so then Chrissy goes to talk to Ryan, and like we said before, she acknowledges, "Yeah, I lied to JP about an all-girls alliance to get him to vote out Roark with me. You in?" "Oh yeah, oh yeah, of course I'm in." Yeah. And Ryan's in, or is he? And then Allie talks to Ryan, and she's like, "Oh, well, we have to get Chrissy out. She's the weakest on the tribe." So Ryan's in the middle, like we said before, and he has to make a decision.
Poor Allie.
Yeah, poor Allie.
I didn't feel bad for her.
Let's jump into Tribal.
Yeah.
Tribal was a fucking Chrissy roast. Holy,
But I loved it. It was so good.
like holy moly.
I
So
didn't understand how the hell she didn't go home until Ryan. I was like, wow, okay.
I think I don't know. She made some good points though. Like
I knew
she
Ryan.
sounded very influential.
I knew Ryan was voting the way he was only because when Ali said something about like, oh, I built like a trust with people early on in this game that then I know they have my back. I just saw Ryan's face. He just looked so uncomfortable at that moment that I knew he was voting Roark out right then and there.
Yep.
But yeah, Roark and Ali just roast Chrissy. It was amazing. And Chrissy's like, I don't know what to say.
Good for Chrissy for standing up for herself, though. Like, I gotta give props to her. Like, she definitely was like, if I go home, I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking saying whatever I want. And you gotta appreciate them at the end of the day, like, standing up for themselves. And Rorik, as usual, people who feel so comfortable, she's like, no, I'm not gonna go. I'm pretty comfortable at this point. Gets voted out anyways. Like, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew she was gonna leave. I knew once she said that, I was like, fuck no, she's leaving. And that's what I like about Survivor is that there's the reversal at the end where the audience expects something to happen and it doesn't happen is the best.
I thought Chrissy was going to go home. I was expecting JP or Ryan to just be a swing vote, in all honesty.
Jumping up and down. This was like the opposite of when Patrick left. I was like, yes, yes, yes. And then I don't know. I'm just excited that she's still in. She didn't get screwed over.
It's certainly it was certainly an interesting tribal council. Let's do some predictions right now.
Well, first thing I want to say though is whenever Rorik got voted out, the first thing Allie did was just turn around. She just grilled Ryan.
Yeah, well, it wasn't like
I know you didn't.
It wasn't like a grill. It was just like a really grill.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what the preview for next episode showed. Showed her screaming at him.
Well, yeah, I think
I had to watch that twice though.
I also watched.
I had to watch that twice. Right? I had to watch it twice to see Allie just what she did, and she just like when she took her torch, she just like fuck everyone, and she's like ran like was like in the front of the line, like just I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Well, like I said, poor girl just keeps looking for a home, and every time she thinks she finds one, like the same day, it's just gone.
All right, so let's make our predictions. Are Ryan and Allie are they going to work things out?
Ryan's gonna tell her. We just had to get healer out. That was it. We just had to get healer out, and then Ryan will be like, "Do I think it's good game to get Allie out?" And then he's gonna screw her over, and then she's gonna cry.
But why didn't he tell Allie?
Why didn't he tell Allie?
Just to keep things safe until tribal.
In case maybe she had an idol or something. I don't know.
You think she's gonna accept that? Because at this point, Allie sees Ryan as her number one.
Well, she doesn't have a choice.
Well, yeah, I guess she doesn't.
I feel like Allie just has to ally with him because not for nothing in that relationship, Ryan has all the power because he's got the backing of Chrissy and possibly JP. At least the point is he's got the ally with. Huh?
I'm not so sure about.
I don't know about JP. I'm not so sure about it either, but I feel like JP could be paranoid about the old girl's alliance that he might just team up with Ryan. Again, that's a big question mark right there. But the point is he does have Chrissy, who looks like she's probably got his back for now. And the whole thing with Allie is like, what the hell is Allie going to do? Like, well, I said, she's not going to make any moves. Allie's best bet is to try to ally with JP.
Well, I think JP's going to realize.
I don't think she'll do that, though.
I think JP's going to realize the all girls thing is kind of bull because the only people that were voted for at Tribal were female.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chrissy and Roark. So I guess he would kind of know that there was no all girls thing, or at least there's not anymore. If there was in his head.
Yeah.
So yeah, Allie has to make up with Ryan. Like there's no other choice. She doesn't have any other choices right now.
Yeah, because if she makes Ryan her enemy, like I said, Ryan could just turn on her.
Her best bet is just not losing, basically. If they don't lose another challenge, they don't even have to worry about it. They can make it to another tribe swap or make it to a merge. Actually, a merge is probably coming relatively soon, a few episodes.
It's probably gonna be after the next episode, I guarantee it.
Yeah, they usually
because they'll be even.
The most that you do it with is 12, so that they usually do it with 12, maybe 11, like Dave said. I mean, the start of the jury is when they do it. I think they'll do it at 12. So one more vote, and hopefully,
I think it'll depend on how. Like, I would think it depends on like how many tribes lose. I mean, like if it's like Levu, like let's say Levu loses next week, I think we'll see a merge like the following week. If it's like another tribe that has like a bigger amount of people, then we might have another week until merge.
I think they do it at the same time every single year. Well, not every single year, but I think they plan a timeout. Like it's not like sporadic. But I want Yawa to lose. Yeah. That's what I want.
Yes, yeah, I want that to happen too.
All right, so I guess we'll end it there. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below if you enjoyed this video. If you didn't enjoy this video, well, thank you for watching anyway. All the way to the end. You guys are real champs. Love you guys. Shout out to the haters. All right, so I guess at some point we'll make that Big Brother video, but yeah, don't hold your breath. The Amazing Race ended, as in like the shooting ended. So I don't know. We'll find out.
They're editing the show now.
Yeah, they're editing the show now. We'll find out when the season premiere for that. We'll keep an eye out, and yeah, that'll be pretty exciting. You guys have anything else you want to say?
We will see you next week.
Yep. I am excited to see what's going to happen next episode of Survivor.
I love Survivor.
Really
I love Survivor.
Oh yeah, I want to see if Cole survives.
Oh yeah, I don't want Cole to die.
Because that preview did not look too good, and that's another thing we got to mention is that Jessica actually said like I can't play this game without Cole after the whole Cole can't keep a secret, and we should probably keep things from Cole now.
She'll deal with it if he leaves. If he's, I mean, it would be the first time someone had to be medically evacuated. All right.
I just don't think that's her preference.
Until next time, peace.